Tom Brannon, Tuesday afternoon, where we are awaiting a couple of things. Storms Prediction Center is going to put a part of Arkansas under a watch. I would assume it's a tornado watch that will cover up counties in northwest and north central Arkansas. Thunderstorms are ongoing in northern Arkansas right now along a warm front. Anytime you have a boundary like a warm front or just ahead of a cool front, you could see storms develop. They could have some rotation, some large hail. So that's the initial threat for the next few hours. And then as a cold front moves in later tonight, we'll have another round of strong to severe thunderstorms. We have a risk of severe weather. I'll go over that here in just a few moments. An enhanced risk for a few counties in northwest Arkansas. Enhanced this time of year is very uncommon. It's fairly rare to get that, but that tells us that there's a little bit more of a risk of a tornado or two in that part of the state. I'll show you that here in just a moment. We've got big storms falling, producing some very heavy rain, possibly some hail north central Arkansas. There are some warnings that are out, and keeping an eye with the National Weather Service is talking about with storms in Searcy County near Marshall. If you are joining us up Searcy County, Marshall, or if you have family there, invite them to join us. And I'm going to be taking you on a tour, radar tour here for the next half hour or so. And then at 4 o'clock, we'll replay things. We'll have our 4 o'clock newscast with Faith and myself, and we'll continue to watch and track these storms. I just want to show you that, for this September day, the 23rd, it's very humid outside. It's also quite hot. Little Rock jumped up to 90. We're now down to 89. 92 in Fort Smith. There's been a batch of clearing here. You know what we say, whenever you see the sun, it's never a good thing, especially with a storm system like this moving in. The frontal boundary is in northeast Oklahoma, about to touch northwest Arkansas. There is a warm front over the northern part of the state, so everyone north of that boundary in the 60s, just south, it is warming up, and that's where you're finding the strongest storms this afternoon. Just wanted to point that out. We got plenty of fuel for thunderstorms for the rest of the day today. Now let's take you on a little journey. Let's talk about the warnings that we have, and they are confined to northern Arkansas. And this is the area of concern with the enhanced risk of severe weather for the rest of the day today, although there is a risk for central Arkansas as well. Right now, we're going to keep you up over the northwest and north central part of the state. Searcy County is under a severe thunderstorm warning. Newton County, northern parts of Johnson County, that's really getting into the THV 11 viewership. Northwest Arkansas, Scott Covert, buddy who used to work here, he's up in northwest Arkansas in Fayetteville. He's keeping an eye on those storms that are near Harrison this afternoon and also Jasper. But Newton County and Searcy County, Johnson County, all with severe thunderstorm warnings, and you can see that there are some cells trying to develop there on that southwestern flank. What is our main concern with the storms this afternoon? It is large hail, 1 inch in diameter or larger. 1 inch diameter hail is quarter size. So you see these blue splotches, you're getting to where you've got severe hail or the potential for severe hail, and there might be a warning that comes along there in Baxter County as well. Continuing a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Newton County. And there's Jasper. They've got some flooding concern. It's this area right here. I showed you those storms just a few moments ago. And this is what it looks like, or has looked like, over the past hour or so. Those storms have been traveling over the same areas. I'm going to take it a little bit broader. That way you can see more of northwest and north central Arkansas. This was the area 2 that was to see the storms this afternoon, and then as they move into central Arkansas tonight, they're expected to weaken a little, but we could still have some strong and damaging straight line wind gusts, some large hail, and we're not going to totally rule out a tornado or two. The threat is very low, but it's there. For this time of year, don't typically see that, but it's there. About a 2% likelihood for most of Arkansas, and it's roughly a 10% likelihood for counties in northwest Arkansas. So there we go. There are the warnings that we have at this time, a little statewide viewpoint, and that's it. Storms have not yet come to fruition in central and southern Arkansas, not just yet. So we're going to keep an eye here. We'll come back and we'll visit some of these areas. If you are watching us in Newton County, Searcy County, Van Buren County was under a warning not not long ago. That part of northern part of Van Buren County has been removed. We invite you to stay with us. I'm going to walk you through what we're expecting for the rest of the night tonight. And this does look like it's going to have an overnight element to it. We've got Simone Thomas coming in tonight. It's going to, I kind of akin to her as a late night disc jockey. She's going to, play the hits and keep an eye on the weather for you over 10 o'clock to around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning until Tracy Bean comes in. Let's talk about a weather impact alert. We issue weather impact alerts when weather is a nuisance, it's disruptive or dangerous. And when we're talking about tonight's weather, it's all three, really. It's all the above. And it does look like we may see a thunderstorm close enough to central Arkansas by about 7 o'clock. That weather impact alert will continue through early tomorrow. We have scaled it back during the day Wednesday. It was through 10 o'clock in the morning. Probably going to look at 6, 7, 8 o'clock. I think we're going to lose a lot of the energy as that boundary moves in. It's just a matter of when does this thing get out of the way. Let's talk about the weather impact alert. We've got an active first week of fall. Yesterday, fall began. Today's the second full day, and we are expecting those strong to severe thunderstorms tonight, early Wednesday, moving from northwest and north central Arkansas into central Arkansas, damaging wind gusts, hail, and a possible tornado. Make sure you have ways to receive severe weather information. This is one of those situations where, we've been several months without having to talk about severe weather. We've had pockets of strong to severe thunderstorms, but this one has that tornado element with it. So that's why we want you to have ways to receive severe weather information. And I'll tell you this, if we do have bad weather, if we have severe thunderstorm, tornado warnings overnight, Simone Thomas will be here. We'll be streaming live on THV 11+. You can count on that. Still awaiting word from the SPC and the National Weather Service on the timing of this watch, and I anticipate that it's going to be a tornado watch. So, and there it is. It has come about. I don't think we missed it. I think it just came down. Tornado watch is in effect, and let me find out for how long, and it does include some counties in our THV 11 viewing area. This watch is going to be in effect until, waiting, okay, well, there it is, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock tonight for parts of northwest Arkansas. So it's very possible that we'll see it extended over another part of central and maybe even north central Arkansas. But 10 o'clock, this does include Faulkner County, central Arkansas, Perry, Conway, Yell, and this goes along with where we're finding the risk of severe weather today. And speaking of that, flooding is certainly a concern. Flash flood watches are in effect. And then we start getting into that risk of severe weather. And it does appear as if the Storms Prediction Center has taken this enhanced risk and pushed it a little farther to the east. It does cover Yell County, Pope, Conway, and Van Buren. So that tells us the parameters are a little greater here for the development of a few tornadoes tonight. The slight risk covers up all of north central and eastern Arkansas and even over the southern part of the state. There is a marginal threat for southeast Arkansas, as you'll see right here in northeast Arkansas. But the main action is going to be through western, west central, a part of central Arkansas, and a good part of north central Arkansas. Let's cover what we're expecting here. And again, the tornado threat is there, but the wind is our primary concern, along with some hail. Winds up to 60 miles per hour in that orange shaded area. But notice there is a hatched area in those northwest Arkansas counties that could pick up a tornado. Could be a strong tornado. Whenever you see a hatched area, a significant tornado, EF2 or stronger, could occur. Let's hope not. But fall is our second severe weather season. So that's the outlook today. This is what's at stake. These are the modes of severe weather. We're expecting up to quarter-sized hail in the yellow, and that's a little better percentage than here in the gray, and winds of 60+ miles per hour. So that's what we're looking at. Now, central Arkansas, let's break it down. Damaging wind gusts in the low category, quarter-sized hail minimal. The rain that occurs, some places have picked up several inches of rain over the last 48 hours, so that's a concern, as well as the damaging wind gusts. Can't rule out the potential for a tornado, but it's minimal. It's on the very low end here in central Arkansas. That would be Little Rock, let's say Perry, Faulkner County, but the wind could be of concern. Got a lot of storm fuel out there. We talk about CAPE, convective available potential energy. That's all the warmth and humidity, and it's very thick out there. So we've got a lot of energy to work with as this boundary moves into Arkansas. It's going to stay with us for a good part of the night. I've got it stopped at 1 a.m., so we still have a pretty good amount of storm fuel by 1 in the morning. Now we begin to see things settle down early Wednesday. This is one of the reasons we've dropped the weather impact alert for Wednesday from 10 o'clock to about 8 o'clock. Wouldn't be surprised. It just depends on the speed of the system. If it's still hanging around early tomorrow morning with Tracy Bean, then we may keep it in through 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. But this is by 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Most of the CAPE, or most of the energy, is over in southeast Arkansas and out of our THV11 viewing area. And that's it. We'll begin to see things settle down, which is certainly some good news. Drier air moving in. It'll be a comfortable forecast toward the latter part of the week. Now, the European model, we use it to show lightning, and it is indicating a pretty good bet that we'll have thunderstorms moving into central Arkansas. This is by about time midnight. So I would say anywhere from, let's say, 11 o'clock, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, central Arkansas could be impacted. And it just depends on if those storms hold together or not. Tomorrow we'll see the threat of severe weather really drop off. So that's the lightning. Let's move forward and talk about a comparison between our two high-res models. We depend on the HRRR and the graph to kind of give us an idea of the timing and of what we can expect. And we've got the HRRR at midnight showing storms entering central Arkansas. Well, the graph is a little bit delayed, showing a cluster moving in about 2 o'clock in the morning. So you've got that midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock time period. You just have to be weather aware. That's what's important here, since these storms are expected more along the lines of late night, early tomorrow morning. So have ways to receive severe weather information. If you've got THV11 app on your phone, if a warning is issued for your location, then you'll certainly receive the warning on your phone like that. And THV11 Plus will be streaming tonight when those storms do occur. Overall timing, haven't really changed this a whole lot since yesterday, but here it is, Tuesday afternoon. So between now and 10 o'clock over the northwest and north central part of the state, we should begin to see a southward push of those storms. 7, 8 o'clock at the very earliest through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and for southeast Arkansas, midnight to around 10 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, there's still some factors there. Nothing is ever perfect. With these storms slowing down just a little bit, according to a couple of our models, it could be a bit more of a prolonged situation. This is the future radar. This is the HRRR. This is 3 o'clock this afternoon. It is picking up on some of the activity. I think it's missing out here in north central Arkansas. Storms are ongoing right now. It's 3:12 and this is 3 o'clock. So let's see what it says toward the 5 o'clock hour. Still keeps those storms in northwest Arkansas. They may be closer to the river valley by 5 o'clock. 8 o'clock tonight, north central Arkansas. By the time we hit 10 o'clock tonight, news time, they're getting closer to central Arkansas. And any of these storms could have some strong wind gusts, could have some hail with them. And of course, we can't rule out the tornado possibility. And this is by midnight. Storms still moving through the central part of the state. Looks like they'll finally get out of the way around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then some drier air will move in. Now, the upper level low is going to come in right behind this system, and this upper low is going to provide us with yet another chance of rain Wednesday. Not nearly what we're expecting tonight, but can't rule out a few showers during the day Wednesday. Thursday, we'll really begin to feel the drier conditions come in, setting up a beautiful forecast for the end of the week, heading into your weekend. This is the current frontal position, and what we've got is cold front, low pressure surface at the surface here over Kansas and Oklahoma. Warm front with those storms riding along that boundary, and out ahead of that cold front in Oklahoma, storms are beginning to fire up. This is the upper level low, this is the surface reflection, and it's going to track to the east tonight and skirt right across Arkansas, dragging that cool front through. And until that cool front moves through, we're going to have to deal with the possibility and the potential of a few strong storms. There's your tornado watch. There are some warnings flashing here underneath for those storms extending from Franklin through northern Johnson into Newton, Searcy counties, Stone counties, these areas under the tornado watch, and then more storms developing out to the west of Fayetteville. Those are the ones that could have the big hail and the possibility of a tornado or two. I'm going to step on this side of the graphic not to block that. So tonight, storms in 71. Tomorrow, 82. We're going to see clouds and showers linger throughout the day. Our THV11 7-day forecast. Once we get beyond the stormy stretch, your weekend is shaping up fantastic. Temperatures will be about where they should be this time of year. And one more graphic to show you, because the Razorbacks have a big one in Fayetteville. Coming up 11 o'clock kickoff. It's going to be gorgeous up on the hill in Fayetteville with a lot of sunshine expected there. Okay, so that is kind of the forecast rundown. 3:14. Let's spend a little more time. I'm going to take us back up to radar. And we're going to track those storms again in north central Arkansas. If you're just joining us on THV 11 Plus this afternoon, thank you so much. Just to give you kind of the streaming schedule here, from now through about 3:30, I will continue to work over these storms, and then 4 o'clock, join Faith and I from 4 to 5. Coming up later on tonight after our evening newscast, Simone Thomas will be around, and we'll be tracking storms then as well. All right, taking me in just a moment to bring everything up, but here we go. This is live radar with the tornado watch that was posted not long ago, and I'm still looking for the information about it. They discussed it, but I did not see it come down so that I could give you the particulars on it, but it is here someplace. All right, tornado watch. There it is. Okay, it was buried. And that is until 10 o'clock tonight for, some counties in central Arkansas: Conway, Pope, Yell, Faulkner, and Perry counties. North central Arkansas: Cleburne, Newton, Van Buren, and Searcy. And other counties in western Arkansas: Johnson, Logan, and Scott counties. So it's that area that has the greatest wind potential and also the highest potential for a tornado. There's what live radar looks like. Let's go back and take a little tour of what's happening around north central Arkansas. If you're joining us, Franklin County, northern Johnson County, Newton, Searcy counties over to Stone County, all under severe thunderstorm warnings at this time until 3:30 and 3:45. You've got the bars with the little arrows on them. There's also a lot of rain with this. Flash flood warnings are in effect for counties that are just to the north. These storms are moving to the east at 30, and our main concern, winds of 60 miles per hour. And some large hail. Looks like a pretty good hail core that's moving just east of Marshall. And I'm going to take us there here in just a few moments. A new warning there that's also in effect. That is for Baxter, Searcy, and Stone counties right there. It's going to loop once again for us. That's just north of Leslie, Arkansas. Let me stop it here. We'll take a little bit of a closer look at it. And let's go back to now. There it is. What does it look like? What kind of hail are we talking about? That's probably the strongest thunderstorm. And there it is, just north of Leslie to the east of Marshall. If that's reaching the ground, it's going to be ping pong ball to golf ball in size. That's the most impressive cell that is currently out there. There's a pretty good updraft with it as well. Keeping an eye for any rotation. And I'm going to have Perry or Roger, if you wouldn't mind shifting over to Storm Track 11 just for a moment. I got another shot of this cell that I want to take a look at that we can really pinpoint what's happening. Storm Track 11, or Weather PC, if you don't mind. And it'll be up here in just a moment there. Weather PC. No, that looks like Max 2. I think that's Max 2. It's the other one. There you go. Thank you, Perry. Wanted to take another closer look at this cell with the potential of up to 2 3/4 inch hailstones. It's 2 inch there, 2 1/4 or a little more. Northeast of Leslie near Landis and Rock Springs. That cell, if it continues its current path, will move over into Stone County and impact Alco, Tembo, and eventually Mountain View if it holds together. I see no reason why it wouldn't if there's a pretty good updraft with it. Yeah, where you got that 2 right there, there's a pretty good updraft, strong updraft. And that tells me that a very strong storm, not only with the updraft, but anytime you're getting 2 inch hailstones, you got a very, very strong storm. Echo top, this tells us how tall the storm is. It's over 50,000 feet. It is certainly a monster of a severe thunderstorm. And there might even be some rotation. You take out an updraft, you're going to have a little bit of rotation. And that's where we're finding it pretty nicely there. This to the northeast of Leslie near Rock Springs, Landis, Arkansas. I'm going to take us over to northern Johnson County as well. And we'll take a look at radar here. This is our base reflectivity. This shows us where the heavy rain is located. Clarksville here, Johnson County, ozone, up to Swain, and Swain is in Newton County. Get a little bit of a break near Snowball and Marshall, but then you've got that severe storm that is now impacting Searcy County. Okay, we have a picture from Leslie. We have an iDrive location from Leslie, Arkansas. It looks kind of dark out there. You can certainly see some of the more ominous clouds. Highway 65, this is probably, if I had to guess, we're looking toward the east-northeast. So the clouds are moving away at this time. But yeah, very strong thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm that is capable of producing some strong wind gusts and some large hail. That is, again, the strongest thunderstorm that we have. And Perry, if you want, we can go back to Max 1 and we'll take a look at the other storms that could have some hail with them. Yeah, that certainly is the most impactful storm with the biggest hail, at least from what radar is indicating. You get up to northern parts of Johnson County, southwestern Newton County, Ozone, Edwards Junction. Those are the areas that are experiencing quite possibly some strong wind gusts and some very heavy rainfall. There you go. That northwest of Ozone could be looking at some quarter-sized hail there. Edwards Junction, also some pretty heavy rainfall and some strong wind gusts. It's in a line, but I do want to take a note and go back to the west of Fayetteville. These storms have really come together. There's a severe thunderstorm warning that's west of Fayetteville. I would imagine Scott Covert's on right now, tracking these storms, as this is the round ahead of the frontal boundary that I think we really have to be concerned with. Yeah, we've got those cells that are severe warned that could produce some hail and some strong wind gusts, but the storm's coming in behind that. That's currently why we have what we have in terms of the risk of severe weather being a little more enhanced. And again, I'm going to show you that. The impact alert continues through tonight, early tomorrow morning for the likelihood of damaging wind gusts, hail. A possible tornado cannot be ruled out. And in terms of the overall risk, you got flooding concerns tonight. You're also going to have the severe weather risk. And once again, you've got the yellow, the slight risk is a 2 out of 5. You've got a medium risk or an enhanced risk in the orange. That includes places like Russellville, Clarksville, Mount Magazine, Fort Smith, Fayetteville. It's just south of Harrison, just west of Clinton. You've got Pope and Johnson counties in the middle of that. So we're going to keep an eye on that as these storms start to come together this afternoon. And again, the wind of 60 plus is a big concern, but you've got that hatched area. You got to take into consideration we could be looking at a possible tornado or two. So don't let your guard down. Have lots of ways to receive severe weather information. Let's talk about that real quick. We are several months removed from an active spring season. Hopefully you have NOAA weather radios ready to go. You've got THV 11 and the app downloaded. You're watching us on THV 11 Plus right now, and if you are, then I can't stress enough the importance of having ways to receive severe weather information, since a lot of this is going to happen at night and early in the morning tomorrow morning. So we got you covered. We'll be covering it this afternoon and through the newscasts. Then Simone Thomas will be in later on tonight after 10 o'clock, after the evening newscast, and we're going to stream as much as we can until these storms fall apart, weaken, or are non-severe. A lot of people have storm anxiety. We get that. I had it as a kid. Anytime we had a thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm, I couldn't help but think we're going to have a tornado out of this. So we're going to be sensitive to that to make sure that you have the information that you need to keep your family safe. Speaking of which, you cleaned out that center room, that closet. Well, now you got to take all that stuff back out so that you're able to fit your family in the lowest level of your home, that little central location. Get away from windows, outside walls. The centermost location that you can get into, small location, put something over the top of your head, bicycle helmet, could be a pillow, something to protect your head is what you want to do. This is not expected to be a significant severe weather outbreak. Isolated storms, a few could be strong to severe. Just let you know about it. This is what we do. We just want to make sure that you are safe and ready to go. I'm going to take a look real quick at what's going on over in northern Johnson County near Ozone. We've got a little radar overlap there, but still some strong storms over in Johnson County, extending from Yale, Arkansas, community up in Johnson County to near Fort Douglas. And then the strongest storm, the most impressive storm, actually that storm I mentioned this weekend, Stone County, Searcy County, that's the strongest storm, and another very strong storm that is not far from the Fayetteville area. Nathan Scott is here this afternoon, and if we have tornado warnings, he'll be joining me. He's updating some graphics for me right now. So give me just a moment and we'll show you what kind of updates we have. I think he's updating some of the verbiage of what we can expect with these severe weather, with the hazards that we have. A strong tornado in the dashed area, winds of 60+ miles per hour, of course, in the orange area. So yeah, we're keeping an eye on the significant areas or areas where we can have some significant weather. It is now 3:24. I said I would be on here about 25 minutes or so to update you on the weather. We have the warnings in north central Arkansas. We're going to take a break from here. I'm going to prepare for the 4 o'clock show. If we have any tornado warnings, we'll jump back on. You're watching THV 11 Plus. We'll see you at 4 o'clock, Faith and I, with an update on your news and your weather.